Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. In the last episode, we started exploring the research facility here on the pirate homeworld. We've made quite a bit of progress, but I did realize after ending the last episode that there is a missile expansion here in Metroid processing that I intended to get, but didn't. So after freeing the Metroids by removing the energy cell in one of their containers is a missile expansion just kind of sitting there. So that is yours to grab after you pick up the energy cell. So you do need to remove it in order to get that expansion. So now that we have that, we can continue going forward. They're going to have to retread a little bit of ground. Oh, hi. Ah, darn it. Oh well. Just going to ignore you and keep going through here. So, luckily we didn't have to go too far back in order to get that, so that is nice. Just going to stock up on some more health here, because it never hurts. So, for now, there's only one door that we can go through in here. It's a pretty big room, but for now, this is all we can do. It appears we have found that Federation trooper. Now, I never looked at it on the map, but this was the room that they were hiding in, so.
Samus, thank the stars it's you. I thought I was a dead man. I think I can help you get to the seed. As I'm sure you know, the path to the seed entrance is exposed to the acid rain.
I did know that.
However, I've seen the pirates using a special suit shield that protects them from the elements.
I've also seen
If
that.
you can acquire one of these shield units, you could probably make it to the seed. Lucky for you, I've seen where they make these devices. Here are the coordinates.
I have also seen where they make those devices. We literally were just right there. Woohoo! Find the acid shield unit.
I even know a back entrance to that location, but we'll need your help activating the lift that takes us there.
Oh, that's helpful.
We've got to engage the security lever simultaneously.
Alright, well, before you do that, I'm just gonna destroy this container and grab this health. Oh, hey, look, there's another one. Okay.
I'll call out the instructions. We must synchronize our movements or the security claims won't release. Are you ready? Pull. Twist. Push.
The timing on that's pretty lenient. I've never had a problem with it.
Let's get going.
Alright, well, looks like we won't have to worry about that track after all. We have a back way in. And okay, the game was just taking a while to load there. Well, look who it is.
You know, you should never trust strangers, Sammy. This is gonna be fun.
Actually sound advice. Okay, so we're just gonna launch straight into a battle with Gandrayda. So, Federation lost contact with her, obviously. And I have to say, I really like this ruse of hers. So, one quick thing to note about her battle theme, it's based on the adult Chica theme from Prime 2, so you'll probably be able to hear a little bit of that. It is a bit soft in game, so if you want to hear more of it without me talking over it all the time, you can look it up. This is Gandrayda, metamorphic bioform able to mimic numerous enemy units in battle. Gandrayda's ability to shapeshift has been greatly enhanced by phase-on exposure, allowing her to assume a number of deadly forms at will. These new forms come with a cost, as she also inherits their weaknesses. A mistress of stealth, she will employ her personal cloaking field often, setting up her next deadly attack. An advanced visor system may be able to reveal her location. So in my personal opinion, this fight is probably one of the harder fights in the game. And this is actually a very challenging fight on hyper mode, because as you can see, she's very fast and very hard to hit. And she also has a lot of health. So this fight, I can almost guarantee you, will last longer than probably either of the main boss fights in Leviathan Seeds thus far. As her ability and scan suggest, she can turn into a number of different enemies that you faced before, one of which is the Berserker Knights or Berserker Lords. And of course, all of the strategies for these are the same as they were when you fight them normally. So this is the Pirate Arrow Trooper. I think it's the armored variant. Now, what makes this fight really challenging, of course in hyper mode she has more health, and given that she's so hard to hit, it's difficult because the fight is long, and you will have to use hyper mode at certain points, so you really have to conserve your health well, because there isn't a lot of health. Like, she will drop some health, but it's not very common. And of course, one of the people that she can transform into is Rundus. So we're actually seeing this attack for the first time. They didn't give him a chance to use it during the main fight. So it borrows the AI from that fight as well. So you can actually manipulate it like that. Now, it won't last forever though, so you can only abuse that as long as she's in that form. So of course she can also transform into Gore. Same strategy for this fight, although she seems to only be doing kind of the second phase of that fight now. She hasn't done it yet. I think it's somewhere around 33% of her health to a quarter is when she will go into hyper mode herself, which the only way to damage her while she's in hyper mode is to go into hyper mode yourself. And that's really where the fight gets tense. She will also transform into you. I think this is borrowing like the Prime 2 suit model from what it looks like, at least from the coloration. And honestly, it kind of fights like the second Dark Samus fight in certain ways, in terms of like she'll do that attack to kind of get you off of her if you get too close. So there's that one attack where she'll jump on you and you have to shake her to get her off, and it's not a fun attack to deal with just because of how annoying that is. Now, after she opens the area like this, the edges will be coated. You know, there's acid rain there, so obviously you don't want to stand there yourself. In general, though, when she's just in her normal form like that and jumping around, I recommend using just regular beam shots and just trying to lead your shots a little bit, because she is pretty fast. If there's one nice thing, oh, she's in hyper mode now. Woo! I think you can still damage her with your normal beam and hyper mode, but of course it does do less damage. So if you're low on health in the hyper mode fight and she goes into hyper mode like that, it's not really a fun time. Because you're desperately trying to not get hit. And I mean, she really her attacks don't change too much. She'll launch those energy discs while she's in hyper mode, which she didn't before, but she also just does that when she's invisible like this as well. She does have a bit of a tell when she's going into hyper mode after being invisible, so you can use that to kind of help with that transition, you know, just do it sooner without losing track of where she is. But that aside, I think we've seen most of her attacks at this point. It's just a matter of, you know, wearing down the rest of her health. Oh, she went invisible. Of course, make use of your radar here as well. It's particularly useful in this fight when you can't see her. Yeah, and the other thing, missiles aren't really that good against her, just because she's moving really fast and targeting can't keep up. So they're really not that great for this fight. Okay, I got a charge shot off. And she actually won't transform anymore once she gets to this phase of the fight. She'll just kind of keep dancing around and going in and out of hyper mode and cloaking. Slowly but surely we're getting her health down. But yeah, this fight is really just a test of patience. And especially on hyper mode, like, this fight might be more difficult than the final boss. Alright, and that will do it. Her death might be the most gruesome one of all. What I do find interesting is during Rundus's kind of death scene, you know, Samus was trying to shoot at Dark Samus, and she's kind of learned that, you know, there's nothing she can do, so by this point she doesn't even bother, which I think is a really neat detail. For defeating Gandrayda, we get the grapple voltage, and this is going to let us siphon or channel energy from ourselves to and from objects. So we'll be getting more use out of the grapple lasso finally. You know, it kind of fell out of usage for a while other than getting rid of enemy shields. So if you use the grapple lasso and pull back on things that have energy, you can drain the energy from them, and that will do things like lower force fields, mostly. Conversely, you can also give energy to things, although we won't be seeing that for a little while. So this here actually grants us access to an elevator. So if we take this, it should take us back to the main facility, if I recall. So we actually need to scan this. That will reveal this, and then once we do that, we can call the train to us. It's kind of a subway system of sorts, although it appears to be designed for transporting cargo and not bounty hunters, although it's certainly capable of doing that as well. Oh, actually no, this one takes you back to the beginning of the research area. That's what it does. This one kind of acts as a shortcut of sorts. Although, you know, given the loading times, it's not as good as it could be. And now you can skip these cutscenes once you've seen them once, but I haven't done this file yet, so we have to watch it. Okay, on this side, though, there is a lore entry. The Leviathan. Our leader provided us with great wisdom on many subjects, including the improvement of our mighty battleship Colossus. We followed her teachings and turned our vessel into a ship without peer, but more work remained. Dark Samus required a mighty flagship, one to strike terror in the hearts of her enemies. The might of the Colossus was not enough. She demanded more. Her solution was unique and most excellent. We took her great star beast and fitted it with cybernetic weapon systems. Crew quarters and command consoles were placed within the beast's skull. In time, we created a mighty dreadnought called it Leviathan. The great leader was pleased. So, this actually puts us out right near the landing site. So, we're going to drain the energy from this, and that will grant us access to our ship. Now, that tip we got, which, you know, we already kind of knew about from Gandrayda, was about where we could get shields for the acid rain. Fortunately, she was obviously lying about that, you know, secret back entrance. So, we're going to need to find something to access those magnetic rails. Now, the game actually doesn't tell you this, but what we need is on another planet. So we're going to have to backtrack in order to find it. Now, the game might give you a hint if you wait long enough, but we're going to head straight there because we actually know what we're doing. So, this one is going to be on Elysia, and we want to hit landing site A. I believe that is the closest one. If not, it might be close enough, you know. I really do have to say, like, these space shots, you know, when you're going between planets, just look really great. This is only a Wii game, too. I do have to point that out. I'm also just like a sucker for beautiful space photos. Or backgrounds, you know. And even if they're not real, you know, if they're computer generated, they still look really great. Okay, so we're back here on Elysia, and I can open up the map. Our objective is that pod right here. We haven't been there yet. So that's where we're going to be going.
Samus, Unit 217 has discovered evidence of hidden chosen artifacts on site. Perhaps these could assist you in accessing the rest of the pilot base.
Oh, thanks for that, you know, that help. I'm one step ahead of you, though. Okay, so now that the Spire Pod is gone, you can see the direction of this cannon actually has changed. And now, it just points to this pod instead of, you know, the Spire Pod like it used to. Same thing with the one that goes to the other ones. That one just points to the AU chamber now. So we actually saw this once before because I went through this door when I wasn't supposed to. But there's something that we can use the grapple voltage on here. So in this case, we're actually going to need to give it energy. This one actually requires quite a bit, as over half an energy tank. And that will grant us access to this zip line. So we're going to take this. Nope, that fell apart. So did that one. This zip line does not seem to be in the best of shape. Well, now it's really not in good shape. One might even call it unusable. Well, nothing to do here, but luckily we're close enough now that we can screw attack the rest of the way. So if we scan this, it'll say that the zipline is unusable. So I think this will actually be a good place to end off this episode. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Metroid Prime 3. I've been redxparasite, signing out.